So why didn't y'all tell me my mic was too loud in the last video, man? So this is why we are here today. I've been a firm advocate for trying to preserve game history by saying that we need not to get rid of physical games, the hard copy, the CD disc, cartridge, whatever you use, whatever it is, all the way from Atari to right now. I've been a big proponent on saying that we need not to buy into this all digital everything era. And that even goes for movies too. I still buy hard copies of movies if I care enough about what the movie is. So with that being said, I find it very funny for those that are so gung-ho for getting their games all digital. Every game I get digital, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the Switch, it's definitely more understandable. But we're getting to the point that we're going to erase game history and then we're not going to be able to play anything because Sony has just announced that they will be closing their PS3, PS Vita, PSP Go. They're going to be closing those stores. Any game that you don't already have on your consoles or your handheld consoles, you won't be able to get ever again. I'm going to read y'all this article from Game Rant, and then I'm going to go a little bit more in depth. According to a report by The Gamer, sources close to the situation have indicated that Sony is shutting down the PlayStation Store for PS3, PSP, and PS Vita this summer. Apparently, the PSP and PS3 PlayStation stores will be shut down on July 2nd, while the PS Vita store will still be accessible until August 27th. Once the stores are shut down, PS3, PSP, and PS Vita games will no longer be available to purchase digital games or any DLC. It is unclear at this time if there will be the option to re-download content that has already been downloaded or not. While many gamers have moved on to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, there are still those who are regularly playing their PS3 as well as their PSP and PS Vita handhelds. All three of the devices support digital game downloads, with the PS3 and PS Vita especially leaning into digital gaming. With some of their titles available exclusively through their digital stores, Sony has kept the PlayStation Store active on these platforms for 15 years, but it seems as though they will soon be shut down. This is exactly why I keep telling everybody, don't put too much stock into these digital games. It's only gonna turn out bad for us, because I know that a lot of people love Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and that was a game that was exclusively digitally downloadable for the PS3, I believe, for the PS3 or PS4. I didn't play it, but I know that game is well loved, and you couldn't access it for quite some time until they decided to re-release it recently. Luckily, that's one of the games that got to get re-released. I remember, it's not a big deal, but it happened to me, so I felt it. It was this game called Ragdoll Kung Fu I downloaded on my PS3, and the PS3 store is still open, but one day, in this other game called, what the hell? Whatever, it was this guy that was like a Rambo, and it was like a side scroll beat 'em up. It was Shank. That's what it was called, Shank. Bought these two games on the PS3 store, and when my PlayStation 4 broke on me, I went back and played my PS3 until I got my PS5. So when I played my PS3, I was buying games. I bought Dead Space 1 through 3, buying games I never played. This game called Vanquish. If you never played Vanquish, you need to play Vanquish. I played these games once upon a time, really liked them, and then I come back to my PS3, when my PS4 goes out on me, so I have something to play, and they're just out of sight, nowhere to be found. Paid money for them and everything, and now I never was able to play them again. But I knew that I paid my money for it, and I found enjoyment in those games. But the fact that I remembered I paid for these games, wanted to play them again, and didn't have that option, blew me, blew me. So I really feel like this is relevant, and we need to really understand what we're doing when we decide to fully go all in with this digital stuff. It's not gonna be in our best interest, because yes, sometimes it is a little cumbersome to have to deal with CDs and stuff. Like I said, especially on the Switch, it's really a hassle. But for these discs, even for me, I'm finding myself, I'm like, let me just get this digitally, because, you know, it's easy. It's very easy. But at the same time, it's like, at what cost? You know, granted, because at the worst case scenario is that you get a disc. Over time, they stop funding the game and the servers go down, and then there's no more updates or something like that, and you have an older version. I don't know, but that's literally the worst case scenario. But at least when you have a physical copy of the game, nobody can take it away from you. Things can happen. Yes, your stuff get broken, stolen, spit up on, threw up on, cracked, whatever. But if there's still some semblance of being able to play it. You could even buy it off somebody that's selling it. But when everything is digital, that's not even an option. That's why GameStop is where it's at right now. Fuck GameStop, by the way. It's still all about preserving games and their history, because I want to be able to one day show my kids. It doesn't matter. I want that option. I feel like we still could play Betamaxes if we wanted to. We still have a way to play VHSs. And if we don't have a VHS player, there's ways to still save the content that's on it. There's ways to save all this. But when we just invest fully into this digital world, it is not going to work out for us in the long run. Keep that in mind, y'all. I'm not saying don't ever buy a digital game ever again. I'm saying just think about the fact that if there ever came a time where we get some type of survey or something, or if you see that maybe there's a game that, this is what I think is going to happen one day. I think that they're going to release a game only digitally, and it's going to be like a AAA game that everybody's excited about, and they're going to be like, we're going to cut costs by not making physical copies of this game. We can't buy it. Literally, like, we can't let them think that this is okay, because we're not going to own anything, and they'll be able to do stuff when they feel like it. Say they do that, and then the game turns out to be shit. Everybody done bought it digitally. You can't return it. All you can do is shit on the game, and then nobody will invest in it any longer after the release. And then they're gonna get rid of the service, and you just pay $60, $70. Also, I'm probably gonna make a video on that bullshit too. You just spend $70 on a game. They got rid of the servers, and now you can't even play it no more. Even if you were one of the few people that liked it, and you know, that's the whole reason it went down, is because people didn't invest it. But you may very well want to play it again. You know, that happens sometimes. You can love a game that everybody hates, and that's okay. But you need to have the option to still play that game. And that's all I'm saying about this digital space. Don't go all in on it. We need to keep our physical copies of games. That's it for now. Peace.